Hello, and welcome to this week's edition of the Weekly Word. What a great start we have had to January in the prayer bootcamp for all nations. Last week, depending on what time you're watching this, on the 25th of January, we gathered together in Leytonstone to just celebrate and to pray things into being. What a glorious time it was. It was powerful. And if you missed it this year, then do not miss it next year. You can bookmark it. I think it's always like the last Saturday of January, if I'm correct. So put a bookmark, put a marker, and decide that next year you're going to be there in person to enjoy a day-long prayer conference. So what am I talking about today in the weekly word? I want to talk about the topic which was shared in the newsletter today called Victory by My Hands. Now, just to give context to that topic, I'd like to read Psalm 115 from verse 16 in the Amplified Version. It says, "The heavens are the heavens of the Lord, but the earth he has given to the children of men." Now, here we see a clear distinction between rule, reign, and should I say authority. So God is ultimate. Yeah, he is the all in all, the sovereign God who rules in the affairs of men. However, what he also has done is he has also given man the ability to dictate and to rule on earth, to have authority. Even at creation, God said to man, he said, "Go out there, go and have dominion over all the things of the earth." And even as Christ left the earth, he also equipped and he commanded the disciples to go and have dominion. And on we see that on the day of Pentecost that we see in Acts chapter 1, verse 8, we see that power came from on high to equip and empower the apostles to be able to do the work that God has told them to do on earth. So, yes, we have been commissioned to have dominion over the earth, to dictate what happens on earth, such that whatever we declare in this earth will be done on earth as well. And today in the newsletter, I love the fact that there were two examples that were showed, both in the Old Testament and in the New Testament. So we were looking at the example of David, who achieved so much for God. He performed so many feats, whether when he took down Goliath or when he confronted so many of the big armies. And we see the in First Chronicles chapter 14, verse 11, where David said, "God has broken through my enemies by my hand, like a breakthrough of water." Again, we see in Psalm 144, verse 1, where David said, "Blessed be the Lord my strength, which teacheth my hands to war and my fingers to fight." You know, one of the best things I've ever heard, one of the most pivotal things I've ever heard was by Bobby Houston many years ago, and where she described us as the hands and feet of God. In other words, when God has an agenda, we are going to be the one that will execute it on this earth. So agenda comes from God. Yes, as humans, as spiritual beings, we connect to that agenda and then we go and execute this. And so here we see, even in the New Testament, we see in the case of the apostles, Acts chapter 5, verse 12, as we have in the newsletter, it says, "And through the hands of the apostles, many signs and wonders were done among the people, and they were all in one accord in Solomon's porch." And lastly, Acts 19:11 that says, "Now God worked unusual miracles again by the hands of Paul." So why are we emphasizing this? Why am I sharing this today? Why is it important for us to know? It's because we have the ability to declare and to execute and to mandate God's best and God's purpose here on earth, even as it is done in heaven. So, my brothers, my sisters, I challenge you as I challenge myself today to say, get up, connect with God's best, and go out there and achieve and execute it, because you know what? God has given you the ability to rule and reign, and you can have victory if you step up and be all that God has called you to do. If you haven't subscribed to our newsletter, I would like to be in touch to let you know of all the things happening in Prayer Bootcamp this week and beyond. So please hit the subscribe button and we will add you to the subscribe list. Until next time, have a fantastic week and God bless you real good. Bye-bye.